Hello, Cancers, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your 2019 reading. Let's close out this last decade, guys. The last month of the decade before we hit 2020 and a brand new decade. How crazy. So how are we feeling this month? What's been going on with you guys? Leave the comments below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that little wiggly bell in the corner to notify you whenever I go live or post up a video if you haven't. So this is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And if it doesn't resonate, guys, don't take it. Check out your rising placement messages. Check out your moon placement messages. And definitely check out even your Venus placement if you resonate more with that as well. Sometimes people do. So check out your other readings. Those will be up as soon as I can possibly get them all up. Hopefully, I'm trying to get all the monthlies actually up before December. But let's get right into this, Cancer. Enough talk about everything else. We have a lot of 7th house energy this month for you guys. 7th house rules relationship, and Capricorn is that for you guys. Again, you kind of have to go and figure out your rising and figure out your houses to kind of see how that all fits in terms of astrology. But I do feel for a lot of you, this is going to be a heavily focused relationship focused month. I think I said that a little backwards, but you all know what I mean. Because we do have on the 3rd of December a really big movement here of Jupiter moving into Capricorn. Jupiter, the planet of abundance, good luck, growth, intellectual learning, all that fun stuff. It's moving into your house of your 7th house of relationships, into Capricorn. So there's going to be a lot of love relationships and focus on them. It could also be maybe a bit turbulent at this time, but the changes that are coming up are necessary, and I think you guys know that as well. On the 10th of December, we have Mercury moving into Sagittarius, which is your 6th house of work and communications, which is what also the Sun is in right now. So we have a focus on relationships and work that is extremely prevalent for you guys. So on the 11th, 12th of December, depending on where you are, we have that full moon in Gemini. Wow. And it's a full moon lunar eclipse, and it's going to be in your 12th house, your inner world, your studying, why you're here, your all that metaphysical stuff, growth in terms of, the questions of why am I here? What do I bring to this world? Where do my beliefs lie? What is beneath all of that? It asks, the tougher, more in-depth, more Piscean questions. So I'm going to have to say it'd be really good for you guys to just be in the present, in the midst of all that, all right? 20th, 21st of December, we have Venus moving into Aquarius, which is in your 8th house. So could be some good news about partners or money coming in there. On the 22nd of December, we have the Sun moving into Capricorn, another 7th house placement for your relationships. And then on the 26th, we have the new moon solar eclipse in Capricorn, again, your 7th house. So there's going to be a lot of focus on relationships, on the boundaries within relationships, over that 22nd to 26th, and, a little bit before, a little bit after that. Actually a lot after that, because again, it is an eclipse, and eclipses are big energy. So there is a lot of releasing of internal, relationship baggage, burdens and problems. What do you want with a relationship? What are your new goals? Where are we headed to now? And how do we, shift into that newer energy? And with Mars and Scorpio all month in your 5th house of creativity, there's a lot of creative energy here. So if you are a creative, if you work in that kind of field, you're going to feel a lot of depth of creativity and wanting to put depth into your whatever it is you're making, creating, putting out there, whatever it is you want to bring to the world. So that's kind of astrology for the month. Probably should have mentioned I was kicking it off like that, but there we go. A little quick astrology there. Now we're going to get right into your reading with the Hobbit deck. So let's check out the general energy for you this month. Your general overall energy, and then we're going to just kind of work through this reading. Sagittarius season is extremely expansive, and yet I feel for you guys it almost feels a little bit of an uncomfortable stretch for you. I mean, we were just in Scorpio season, fellow water sign, and we went deep, and as I say this, it's almost like tears are coming to my eyes, which is super weird. But, yeah, I don't know, guys. It feels like you release a lot of emotional baggage, a lot of things coming up from the depths to be worked through. And the Hanged Man is your first card out here for your energy for the month. So it's really looking at, you know, what we have been through. The Hanged Man is trying to look at the past to determine what is the best way forward in the future here. It's really, you need to find equilibrium in your concepts of reality here. It's very, again, there's a lot of spirituality, there's a lot of relationships, and there's a lot of need to look at where you fall in the midst of all that, especially in terms of work and in terms of love. You know, are we being true to ourselves? How do we see things now as opposed to how we saw them, a while ago? Interesting. Knight of Cups comes out before I can even determine what he's out for. Let's continue pulling. Wow. There's definitely some endings and losses, but like I said, guys, any turbulence, any changes that are coming up this month, they're necessary. And Jupiter has that kind of fatherly energy where it's like, you know, it gives you the tough love. It wants you to grow. It wants good luck, growth, all this wonderful stuff to come in, but especially with it in Capricorn, it's a lot more serious and sobering of an energy. It's not so much in that dreamy, wonderful, good luck and abundance and happiness place. Wow, we have a lot of heavy feels this month, which is surprising to me because I felt like everybody was getting these cards in Scorpio season, maybe except you, and now here they are. And I think it's because we have to make some changes here in relationships, especially in terms of where our boundaries lie, and are we really feeling impassioned in them? Where did the passion go? Where did the energy go? It feels like some of you guys are looking around and are feeling like, wow, I feel like we're suddenly in a rut, like things aren't where I thought they would be. I'm talking about relationships, about your feelings, and it's getting up in your head here. Wow. This is an intense read. Let me kind of separate these because I'm asking some different sections here, different things, and wow. I have to say, and I'm going to be honest with you, 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 3 of Swords are right there for what's happening this month. There's heartbreak, and there's need to move forward beyond it. There's a need to see the forest through the trees in a very difficult situation here, okay? We're going to need some advice cards. We're definitely going to need another deck, that's for sure. All right, sorry I'm being quiet, but I think that we need to get all the cards out before I can get into this. I'm not going to mess that one up here. Wow. Exactly what I thought. You know, this is uncomfortable. And I think that, strangely enough, unlike other signs, you are really comfortable being immersed in the depths of Scorpio season. It was a creative, wonderful, beautiful month for you. Again, I don't know why tears are coming to my eyes. And I don't think it's because I want to, part of it might be because I want to yawn. I actually have been not drinking coffee for the past few days and instead drinking tea, and it's been rough, guys. But this is tough. This is tougher. These are the feelings that I think most people were feeling last season, and now you're feeling them here. Because you had something you were focused on last season, something you were trying to put out, you were focused wholly in that, and it was good stuff. If I remember correctly, your reading was pretty positive, pretty good, and we had a lot of good step ups, it felt like, for you guys, especially in terms of career, in terms of our love for it. It felt like very, again, you and vocation, and what are you creating, focus there. this month we need to really look at that. It's like we need to go back over it, which is weird because it's not Mercury retrograde, and yet this feels like a Mercury retrograde specific to you and what you're feeling, what needed to be let go of, what didn't you let go of last season. You were so focused on a bunch of other things while other people might have been letting go of this and facing burdens and difficult realities. And it's like, here, this is what you're doing. Let's use the Egyptian deck. I want to use it a lot this season just because it's a newer deck and it has some really, it's very different. It's definitely all the decks that I pick them for reasons of them being different or having to do with certain things. This one was very old and different, and it's Eastern astrology based. It's Egyptian. It's very interesting, and I think that it holds some very interesting keys to whatever you need to know right now about all this difficulty. Because 10 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 3 of Swords, that's some unshakable truths, endings, things that we cannot really ignore and pretend didn't happen. We really don't know how to get out of this energy. Something has ended. Something that I think that we didn't expect to end this way. Maybe we had high hopes of it, or as we were focused on other things, this relationship, this friendship, this situation around us kind of disintegrated while we were, again, focusing on us. I'm not saying that you did the wrong thing. It just feels, yeah. Wow. I'm sorry I'm being so quiet. It's like your reading requires some silence. Wow. If you're dealing with an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, maybe a Pisces for some of you, maybe a, what did I just get? Did I already say that? Capricorn? Aquarius for some of you. But maybe, I think I already said Pisces, but I don't know. It could be any of those signs. Doesn't matter if it isn't. There is a desire to reconcile a relationship, and it's there. You can do it. This person, this situation is holding their love for you. So if you're in a relationship, male, female, a non-binary, whatever, it's just saying, this person still has this love. They're still holding this. And yet it almost feels this is tough. Wow. Some of you guys have had this love withheld from you for a long time. Or you haven't felt the love. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to speak up because I realize I'm getting a new microphone soon, but not soon enough. So I'll try to speak up for you guys. I've had a lot of people tell me I talk too low. And I'm sorry because your reading is making me want to talk quietly, but I guess I'm going to have to yell through it. The 3 scepters, the dazzling light. You really do want connection here, and that's what's tough. But what you want is more than what you're getting right now. And it can be worked through. I think that this is something that can go one of 2 ways. And I'm not saying that, if you go one way, you're not going to get that 10 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 3 of Swords, all that nasty energy, all the difficulty, the heartbreak, the needing to face. See how my voice just broke when I said that? The needing to face some really difficult truths about where a relationship is now heading. Because again, this is the time, as Jupiter moves into Capricorn, as it moves out of Sagittarius, it's less so let's expand and go this way, that way, the other way. Now let's hone in on this. Let's focus. Let's get grounded and realistic about relationships, about love, especially for you guys. And let's really see what changes need to be made, what are absolutely necessary, because they're going to happen whether you like them or not. And 10 of Cups is here. I mean, this is all really saying, she's got the 10 of Cups behind her. The Magus was the last card out here, which is the Magician. What have you learned and how will you use it? Where are you going towards now? How do you want to fix this or not fix it? The Ace of Wands, the Nine of Swords come up after that for how you're going to be dealing with this. Sorry, I know that it took me a second there. I know, this is a strange reading. I'm not reading like I normally do, but no reading that I do is ever the same, especially with the fixed signs. I'm not fixed signs for the monthlies. Why do I say that? Ace of Wands comes in with the Nine of Swords. And then we get the Six of Swords and the Hermit. Be careful how you speak. Be careful what you say. There are new things coming in here. Let me see what they're about. Ten of Wands. It's very burdensome for you. This is a difficult time. I'm not going to lie that there is difficulty here, but there is moving on once we recognize and see the Nine of Swords for what it is. It's like our anxieties are being thrown in our face in a very big way. It's kind of like someone saying something, doing something, something happens that really just throws it right in your face. And you can't really hide from that now. And again, this feels like relationship problems. If you've been so focused on work, etc., whatever it might be that you've been focused on, and it feels more like work. Feels more like you and your career, your vocation, where you're headed, what you want to do. What are you bringing to the table? You've been asking yourself all these things and working through that. And if you have a partner in the meantime, they might be feeling very, what is the word I'm looking for? Very neglected. Yep, the Slave of the Cup. Wow, what a perfect message. Somebody is tired of being the slave of the cup. And I don't know, I don't know if it's so much you or if it's the other person, but somebody in this situation is tired of being the slave of the cup. And it might be that somebody here, your partner or friend, somebody that feels that they have been, your emotional wet nap. I don't know, it's like that's not the right word. What is it? Somebody you've been emotionally leaning on. Your emotional support is coming in and saying, hey, I need to do what's best for me now. The veiled lamp. Very interesting. It's very much about, I need to focus on me and I can't be propping you up all the time. The Six of Cups is there as well. I love you and I'd like to get back to this lovely energy, but the way things are working and the way it is right now doesn't feel very equal. Maybe you're not seeing it that way, but you've been so focused on you that, the light that I've been trying to shine to you has been completely veiled, masked by all the things, maybe your partner, whoever this is, it just feels like somebody in your life, and it feels more like a partnership, a love interest, or a really close friend or family member here, has been trying to reconnect, has been needing something from you, needing attention, needing love, needing to know you care. And for those of you in relationships, this is really hitting me. And maybe you haven't seen it that way. So whatever light that they've been trying to shine to you, communicate to you, it's been just dulled because the way you're perceiving things, that your energy, how you're focused right now. It's like you can only focus on an ending. You can only focus on something that isn't working. And what we need to do is remember, especially in terms of a relationship, if we want it to work out, remember what brought you there in the first place. Sometimes nostalgia isn't that bad to dip into if it's reminding you of why you love this person, how we got there, and is this worth moving forward with. I think that there's a very big reevaluation of a relationship and the boundaries that we have within it. The boundaries in terms of what we rely on the other person for, and just as much how that other person relies on us. And we really need to evaluate, Five of Cups and then the Seven of Pentacles, how satisfying it is. And when you get that, we haven't seen the changes, the effort, the work that we have wanted to. We can start moving forward if we're willing to confront the Five Cups. The Five Cups first here. We have to recognize that there are still two cups upright. Usually when the Five of Cups is reversed, we can move forward, but we have to really recognize what has brought us to this stumbling point, what has held us back from continuing on, why these problems are suddenly arising, why this person is saying this, and why you're feeling the way you're feeling in the face of it all. So your advice here, Page of Swords reverse, Eight of Cups, to me this is almost saying, and it's not like I always get this kind of message with the Page of Swords reverse, but it's like, don't think too hard about it, don't look into it, don't go and do your online stalking, etc. And as I said that, I just saw a hawk just moving overhead in the skyline. Don't be a hawk. Don't look for opportunities to say this, do that, to hold something over someone's head and to continue on a negative path in terms of a relationship. We have this need to move forward here and to solidify things and to shift our focus and our energy into our relationships and less into just us. And it can be a bit uncomfortable, obviously, this month. Because again, where we've moved ourselves towards, it's not like it's a bad thing, but you guys have come up in a way that not everybody that's around you and not everybody that was kind of riding your coattails can ride them any longer. And they might be mad or upset that you're moving on without them. That, you know, you can't carry all the burdens anymore. You can't carry the weight. And it does feel difficult. But instead of trying to pick at something, it's almost like picking at a scab to the point where, you know, it's never going to heal. It's time to move on, move forward, even if this is kind of a lonely journey. I mean, we do see the Hermit here twice, you know, the Veiled Lamp as well as the Hermit. I don't think he's supposed to be the Hermit, but he is actually the sign of Leo in this deck. But we do see the Hermit twice. We see a lot of burdensome cards and a lot of recognition of painful endings of where things haven't worked out. Of, again, maybe where we have felt backstabbed or taken advantage of as well within this relationship, within this situation. And it's needing to, instead of say this, say that, you know, get our piece in there, you know, have the last word, say this, say that, or, you know, spy on this person to try to get, you know, a more opportune stance. It's like, move on from it, let it go, especially emotionally. It's time to let things move on, move forward. You can't get to that 10 of Cups if you're holding on to something to laud over somebody's head or to, or just whatever that negative crap might be there. 4 of Wands, King of Coins. You're getting to a much more stable place and it's going to feel a lot more secure. It feels like you're coming into security in a really wonderful way and you're able to get there, but you have to be willing to come into alignment. And that means that you have to kind of sacrifice some of your positions here and really look at your boundaries and how you played into how this, you know, where we're at now. So the King of Coins says, stay grounded within it all, though, and remember that wherever you're going, you know, it is very abundant, very safe, very secure, and that's really what you're trying to manifest, where you're working towards as well. 4 of Wands says you're just about getting there. Just recognize that. Especially in terms of money and work, abundance. That seems to be going well. Focus it on relationships and you'll see other areas of your life come into alignment as well. And again, if you're dealing with an earth sign, like a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this is, I mean, communication is something that is very necessary this month. Let's get a couple of clarifiers or cards of advice for you, really. Let's get some cards of advice. I really want to use actually the Gustav Klimt deck. Let's get some advice here for Cancers. Advice for my Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for December 2019. What will help them? What will help them or aid them they can do? Give me one card. Death. And the World. I'm not even going to take any more because how clear is that? Clear as day. Time to close out old chapters and open up new ones. Time to close a book here. Time to put an ending, you know, bring an ending to something that needs to end. There are endings that you guys can no longer ignore. Maybe you've been thinking about it for a long time. Maybe you've been sitting in the hangman position about it. But it is time to let it go, to move forward, to end something that is no longer serving you. A relationship, a situation, how we, you know, act within a relationship. Again, behavioral patterns need to mature. But it's something that clearly needs to be ended here, so that we can have all this wonderful prosperity, growth, and attainment of wealth that the world promises. New chapters, new beginnings, prosperity, the yeah, hell yeah feeling. You want that, right? So it's time to let things go. It's time to recognize where death needs to come into your life and allow it to make those necessary endings and changes. So let's pull a couple of Doreen Virtue cards here from the Romance Angels. Keep an eye out for the love readings, guys. I'm going to try to do love readings this month. Ooh, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. And I feel for whatever this love situation is, they've been cautioning you for a while. It's time to start doing something about it. You know what the issue here is. You know that there is an issue. Don't let don't let it become a problem. I'm not saying that there's third-party stuff. It doesn't feel that way to me, but it definitely feels like a lack of, there's a lot of lacking within a relationship here. Your feelings are real and worth exploring, so get into the romantic feelings. You know, pay attention to the red flags and get more in touch with your romantic side, your love, your relationships. It feels like we've been so focused on other areas that we've kind of forgotten the romance. I don't think you'll be forgetting that in 2020. We got a lot of Capricornian influence. So let's see here. Stacey DeMarco cards for you guys. For messages, for guidance, advice for December 2019. For Cancers. Ooh, dawn. The light after the darkness. And let's get one more here. Cancers. Again, trick or treat, mischief and play. All right, we'll take it. This one has been around in the daily reads, I've noticed too, as we end out November. Okay, dawn. The light after the darkness. Love it. Should you receive the dawn card, you are being reminded that there is always a fresh start and a new beginning to be had. Change is unstoppable, and even the most difficult times will pass, no matter how devastating they may seem. Hope is one of the most powerful, motivating forces in the universe, and it's being indicated here. You have hope. Yes, there's endings. But this is the light after the darkness coming in. You have to move forward so that you can see that light. Even if it feels so painful and uncomfortable and I don't want to do this right now, you got to do it. So, trick or treat, mischief, and play. Should you receive the trick or treat card in your divination, it may well be a time to examine the role of play and mischief in your own life. You don't have to be a child to let go and have some playtime, and you can extend the fun to others. Sometimes we are afraid to make mistakes, and the play is one way to alleviate the pressure that we sometimes place on ourselves to get everything perfect every time. Alternatively, it is worth knowing that there is a balance between manipulation and mischief. The former is not pleasant, and the other has at its core a sense of irreverent fun. So, have some fun. It is Sagittarius season. Get exploring, get explorative. Start really opening yourself up in terms of relationships, in terms of the newness that can come in and the creative ways we can work through any of our problems this month, okay? Shift your focus and don't be afraid to have some fun in the whole process of it, okay? Love you guys so much, Cancers. Wishing you nothing but the best this month. Check out your other placements, check out the dailies, and have a wonderful and blessed December, guys. Namaste.